Are we
Cheers.
recording? Okay,
Yeah,
cheers.
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 We don't promote drinking. There's just nothing else for us to do.
It's only Sunday.
Set it off.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is Matt Scott, and I'm with my dudes in a very particular order. Eric.
I'm curious why you always pause there.
I'm also curious about
why do you
that.
pause there? My dudes?
It's like you're gonna
In a very
it's like you're
particular
gonna,
order.
It's like you're gonna throw something in there in editing,
Yeah.
but then there's never anything there in editing.
Anyway, my name's
It's
Eric.
my brain processing.
you have to download the next sentence.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Buffering.
It's that robot brain. Daniel.
Hey guys.
Dag.
Right in the middle of a drink. Ayo.
And our buddy Cooking with Kevin.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Cooking with Kevin.
So
We're off to a good start, guys.
Yeah, such an entrance music there.
It's so good. The cut off early music prompts.
the premise is that each week we collectively choose a movie to watch on our own time. We then get together every Sunday night and bullshit about it. Kind of like a book club, but for movies. We also came up with a set of questions to ask ourselves as we generate some fun comparisons and analysis of the movie. For example, one of the questions being, is this a Podium film or top 3 for the year of its respective release? So for instance, if we chose Casablanca, does this movie podium in the year 1942? Considering it's one of the all-time greats, I would think so. As we go through this episode, we'll go over each of the questions that we have for this podcast. Without further ado, we present our next movie.
High Fidelity.
I'm looking for a record for my daughter. I just called to say I love you.
Do we look like the kind of store that sells I just called to say I love you? Go to the mall.
Now that we're officially into the Will 2K era, the movies of the late 90s start to take on a more serious tone into the next decade. From the Billy Madison and the Happy Gilmores of the world, to the 2000s seeing movies like Memento, American Psycho, and Requiem for a Dream, there seems to be a more earnest tone. Of course, there are slapstick comedies year after year, and 2000 saw Me, Myself, and Irene, Road Trip, and the very first DVD that I ever owned was Scary Movie. But for the most part, we've entered a new century where the main flicks have a more serious tone to them. Of course, we were in middle school at the time, and so we were looking for funny films, some sexual content, and any melodious tune we could get our hands on. Two of the most important films, and two of my personal favorites, have all three of these traits, including Almost Famous and our next movie. We present High Fidelity. So before we get into the questions themselves, I like to begin each show with a few random ass facts that I found some internet research. It has a rating of 7.4 on IMDb. Did you know this was based off of a book by Nick Hornby written in 1995?
I didn't know it was about a book until I looked it up.
Yeah, I stumbled across that just randomly looking up who was in the cast.
What made me look up that it was a book is whenever I looked at the trivia on IMDb, I saw where the location was changed from London to Chicago. So that's what made me look up where it actually came from.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and I did see that they switched that. John Cusack was partial producer or helped produce this movie. He originally wanted Bob Dylan for the role of Bruce Springsteen in that cameo scene.
Yeah.
But Dylan was unavailable, so he ended up being the boss.
Yeah, you really got to settle low then
Yeah, right?
with Bruce Springsteen.
Hard times.
Yeah.
So there's that scene where they're laying in bed and they have a flashback, and Rob's kind of freaking out because he remembers a time where him and Laura are listening to Ian having sex upstairs. The book Laura is reading is titled Love thy neighbor. Obviously, later on, she starts dating Ian and moves in with him and loves thy neighbor. One other thing I thought was cool that I stumbled upon, there actually wasn't a lot of trivia on this. There's not a ton out there, but I wanted to give a listing of the Marie DeSalle CD that Rob pops in at the record store. Listen to this track listing. And again, he talks about how he really puts a lot of thought into making a top 5 or making a tape for somebody. Mm-hmm. And so this is the tape. Number 1 is Baby I Love Your Way. Obviously we'll get into, but she plays that song. Then we have Eartha Kitt ×2 by Patsy Cline. Ghostbusters. Beat It. Baby Got Back. 9/11 Is a Joke. I Will Survive. Bop. My Heart Will Go On. You Can't Have It. And The Time Is Now. Those are the 11 songs on that listing when he pops that in.
Wow,
so I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, right?
They threw Bop in there.
Yeah, and if you bop, you're gone. That's what they say.
Exactly. So
I like how you said 911 as 9/11.
I know.
It made it seem like you were talking about the events of 9/11.
I didn't even think about it.
Which makes that song title a lot funnier.
It is a lot funnier.
Actually, yeah, this movie was actually made before
I'm sorry,
that
Flavor
incident,
Flav. I know the song. I just read that. And
thanks, Kevin. I don't think anyone knew that this movie came out before 9/11 happened.
Just a bit outside.
The historian Kevin is here.
I'm just in case.
Yeah.
So
there's Kevin's fact about the movie.
Came out before 9/11.
So before we get into the questions, let's make sure we drop the needle on that like button, like you just went to the record store, Dave. And don't forget to please subscribe. Gaining a few each episode, we'd love to have more subscribers. You can catch us here on YouTube every Tuesday or your favorite podcast platform.
Thank you to everyone who subscribes and listens. Y'all are the best.
Definitely.
High Fidelity is the name of an Elvis Costello song, which is about an ex-girlfriend with a new boyfriend.
Really?
Ooh.
I didn't see that. That's crazy.
Dave's got a half-ass fact for us.
Which one came first?
Ask Kevin.
I'm asking.
The music or the misery?
The song came first.
Did you Google it?
Oh no, I just know it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't believe
it's all up here.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right. So first question we've got, favorite thing about the movie? So I'm going to bounce this one to Eric. What was the favorite thing for this movie for you?
I like that it surrounded music, like music and records played a whole bunch, like a really big piece of it. I'd say that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Speaking of that, Kevin, what about you?
I put that it's extremely relatable. I feel like any guy in general has been in Rob's shoes at one point or another. So I feel it's a very relatable movie.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that in some way or another, right? Everybody goes through a breakup of some sort. What about you, Dave?
This is a really well-written screenplay, and it makes me want to get the book now and read it to see, like, how closely it was to the book and if a lot of the same writing from the book is kept into the movie. I mean, everything that the movie's based around, a record store owner, him and his friends debating over music, having all of these opinions over music.
Yeah.
The constant fourth wall breaks. It just, I love the movie. And the different ways, to get specific, the different ways he imagined beating up Ian whenever he came into the record store.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite scenes.
Okay, hold on. out of the ways, what's your favorite?
Out of the whenever what does Dick hit him with? He hits him with the phone first.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Dick hits him with the phone and then pulls the AC unit out of him.
They murder him.
They do.
Straight
That's
up
the
just
correct
murder.
answer.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. But yeah, I totally agree. All of those where he looks at the camera, he talks to. I mean, he's just the self narration is also relatable in a lot of ways. What about you, Daniel?
For me, it's the movie paints the city of Chicago in this beautiful light. All you hear about Chicago now is people who are like, gun control doesn't work. Look at Chicago. All you hear about it is how it's a cesspool of murder and terror. And this movie shows that Chicago is a beautiful city.
Mm-hmm.
It's raining all the time, though.
It is raining a lot.
I hear it's the Windy City.
No,
you know why it's called the Windy City?
Because they have winds?
No, because people from Chicago talk so much about how great their city is that they have big wind.
Okay.
Huh? For real?
Yeah.
Is it?
Wow. Didn't know that.
That's
cool.
Bringing up the rain in the movie, though, I got to thinking after I was after the fourth time of it raining, I was like, oh, hang on. It's raining every time he's dealing with heartbreak.
Yeah, for sure.
Or a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wouldn't be a John Cusack movie without rain. Heartbreak and rain, that's every movie he's in. His most famous scene of his whole career is holding up a boombox in the rain, right? So, of course, this is the culmination of that with how many times it rains in this movie. But yeah, I totally agree. So my favorite thing about this movie is, or at least, so I really liked this movie in high school, and my answer then would have been the raw despair feeling that you kind of feel with John Cusack, or how he's able to pull that emotional feel out of you. And he's one of my all-time favorites because of that. The way he exacerbates that feeling, that despair and the heartbreak and the sad feelings and stuff. But now you kind of watch it again and you're like, wait, Jack Black is incredibly funny, awesome in this. Just really funny. Yeah. When we were younger, it was Jack Black was kind of not annoying, but brash and kind of boisterous, out there. And it was it's kind of funny. But now it's holy shit, this guy's hilarious. Coming in and just storming in, he's late, saying, what is this shit? Puts on Katrina and the
new
Waves.
Belle and Sebastian.
Yeah. Well, it sucks ass. And so him coming in and just storming in, I like that. Or when he's calling out the guy who's trying to buy his daughter shitty music, and he's like, "Your daughter wouldn't like that anyway," or whatever he says. So I just
think we'd sell this at a record store? Go to the mall.
yeah, exactly. So it used to be just the way that John Cusack made you romanticize about being dumped. I mean, right? But now I think Jack Black is kind of a breath of fresh air. Yeah. Next question we've got. Least favorite part about the movie? So I'll bounce this to Dag. What was your least favorite thing about the movie?
My least favorite thing about the movie was the way that Rob left his records in his apartment, all stacked up on top of each other.
There's a lot of pressure that builds up.
For being a record store owner, that's pretty irresponsible of him to leave all of those records like that. And why don't any of these guys like skateboarders?
Yeah, well,
because they're always stealing shit.
Stole the record. Yeah, they stole the records.
The delinquents.
Yeah,
it's a bad perception.
Kevin, what about you?
I might get a little bit of throwback off of this one, but I did not enjoy the soliloquies. I thought a lot of them came off kind of weird and just some of them was creepy. And I mean, I get why it's there, but I could have gone like a narration way instead of doing it the soliloquy way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's kind of my thought on it.
I got one more at the end after everyone else goes.
Yeah, Eric?
Kind of to your point, Matt, like back in high school, like the whole feeling was like, oh, he just went through a breakup. That's a bummer. And then like he makes you feel that. And then watching back, my least favorite thing was just how insecure he was. Like actually.
That's a good answer.
He's just a fucking insecure dick.
Yeah, he is.
And I have no sympathy for him.
Yeah, he's kind of, I mean, he's pretentious.
Yeah,
right?
For sure, yeah.
He's kind of a dick, you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Daniel?
Yeah, I put at the beginning, Rob is a nice guy. Which is...
It's funny we all go that way.
He thinks he's owed affection and love and all this crap from women because he's, like in every situation, he's a terrible person, at the beginning. Yeah. It goes back to his breakups. Like that one girl he dumped because he couldn't get any further with her. So he dumps her.
It's all
and then and then later in the movie, he has the gall to come and ask her like, why didn't we work out? And she's like, you fucking wrecked me. And now you're coming back and asking, you dumped me.
Yeah. And then he was like, washed his hands clean and was like,
this is awesome.
I didn't dump her, or I dumped her.
Yeah,
like,
he's a real piece of shit.
Yeah, real neurotic.
Right? Yeah, like I really like, Rob's not the kind of hero that you want to root for. He's the protagonist of the movie, but he's really an antagonist in most of these people's lives.
Yeah,
he's not a good person.
No, and it's funny again when you're in high school. I think it's that like, wow, he's sad, and I can handle this. Yeah. So this is what we associate with, and I understand. And now it's like, dang, just get over it. And most of the time you're right. It's him that's that way.
Yeah.
So I didn't go that way, but I do understand that. I just kind of said the whole Ian plot. Like, I don't know what I'd cut out exactly, but maybe the entire Ian thing. So, like, I don't mind her breaking up with him for all the right reasons. Like, kind of your point, Daniel, he is a dick. Like, he borrowed money. He asked about an abortion. He asked, or told her he might be looking for elsewhere, like looking for another girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, these are all not reasons to keep dating somebody or marrying or whatever. And so I understand why she breaks up with him. But I think it's kind of unnecessary to jump to another ship so fast, and it's this weird Ian dude.
Such an odd ship in that character because they both didn't like him.
So I just felt it was forced. Like I get where they were trying to go because they needed him to he needed to see more of him being neurotic and freaking out and thinking about her having sex with somebody else, and there's kind of some play on that. But I think the movie's kind of long for what it is. And I think that's what I would cut out.
I think you could have just done it faster or like developed Ian less, just had him be another guy.
Ian. Yeah, right. I mean, we didn't need him, the whole having sex thing. Like, there's just certain scenes that just seemed unnecessary.
Yeah.
But wasn't that him visualizing it, not actually happening, though?
Yeah.
Part of it, yeah. I mean, one part they're laying in bed and he hears it, but then another time he's visualizing it. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of Ian that's unnecessary. Dave, you said you had something else?
Yeah. I loved how much of like a music like debates about music movie that this was. Mm-hmm. But there was very little hip hop talk in this movie. And I just like that about that.
Yeah.
I think that there's only ever one time that a hip hop song is playing in the record store, which we'll get to later. But we might as well go ahead with this being a movie that had so many top fives to go ahead and do
top five records.
my top 5 hip hop albums from the year 2000.
Ooh. I definitely know a few of those.
This is
do
also,
the face.
Oh God!
This is also in celebration of celebrating 50 years of hip hop this year.
Nice.
Yep.
So, with the lack of hip hop in this movie, I thought that this was fitting.
Perfect.
And then the year was just really good for hip hop albums that year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait,
at number 5,
hold on. Are you going to do the face? Thank you, Dave. I love you.
Is that long enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Damn,
Can I stop?
that's impressive.
Yeah, you can stop. I give you permission.
All right, at number 5, the Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem.
Oh man,
This is his second album, and we were just in the full, like, Eminem in his prime at this point.
yeah, 100%.
For sure.
At number 4, we have Like Water for Chocolate by Common. Common, a little more lesser known hip hop artist. I mean, he's a great hip hop artist, but I guess a lot of people will call him lesser known. But Lights Out, the song from this album, is probably one that everybody would recognize. Number 3, Supreme Clientele by Ghostface Killah.
Ghostface.
This is a iconic album for Ghostface. Has Apollo Kids on it, which just was chart topping at the time. Number 2, Stankonia by Outkast.
Yep.
I mean,
Nice.
there's so many great hit songs on this album.
Is that the one with? Was it Miss Jackson? On
Miss
that one?
Jackson, So Fresh and So Clean,
Oh,
Bombs
okay.
Over Baghdad.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot on that album. And then my number 1 album, hip hop album from that year, is The Unseen by Quasimodo or Madlib.
Wow.
Nice.
So Madlib is better known as a producer in the underground community, but whenever he does rap, he goes into his alter ego of Quasimodo.
I'm not familiar.
This was his first record of that, and it's a great hip hop record.
Is that the one that you picked up today?
No, the one that I picked up today that I didn't have was Stankonia.
Oh, nice.
So I have Outkast's first album on vinyl, but I didn't have that one on vinyl
Nice.
yet.
With Dag's top 5, I also want to have a top 5, but it's not just me. I want everybody to think of one album that would be included in a top 5 posse album list. And hopefully you have a few options or we don't repeat, but I just want everybody to think of one and say it. Does anybody have one that wants to go first?
What do you mean by this?
So I
What do you
came
mean?
up with a top 5 list of posse, what you think of when you think of our group listening to music together that we all
right.
kind of associate
all right.
with an album. So like,
Okay.
I'll go first, and I would say Reinventing Axl Rose is probably up there.
By Against Me.
By
Yeah,
Against
that's a
Me.
good one.
Sorry.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
By Against Me. Yep. Even though I should have went elsewhere. But
I'll
Kevin?
go next.
Oh no, there you go. Daniel?
I'm going to go with Hit the Lights. This is a stick up. Don't make it a murder.
Oh.
We destroyed that record when it came out. I mean, it
Wow,
was every
you're
time
right.
we were driving anywhere was hit the lights, hit the lights, hit the lights.
Man, good.
Oh yeah.
I struggled past like middle school, high school, so I'm so glad you said that. Awesome.
I'm going to go to something that we started really listening to a lot after we started drinking. And it was because it was an album that we could put on for the whole album at the townhouse for like $2 or something. Kill 'Em All by Metallica.
Yes. That's awesome. That's awesome. Eric?
I'm gonna go with Matt's, and I'm gonna go. Wait, hold on.
Hell yeah.
Commit this to
Nice.
memory.
Yeah. LGFUAD, baby.
Uh-huh.
Always.
Always. Kevin?
Kevin? Yeah.
Oh,
No, he hasn't gone yet. Last but not least.
I actually had
What's-
that Metallica album going there.
Did you really?
But I'll
crazy,
throw
man.
one on there because I know we played that one like crazy, and I remember we collected all of them. We tried to Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Oh, yeah.
Remember
All
they
the
had
different
the
ones.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They had all
yeah.
the different
I definitely
album
remember.
covers.
I got 2 honorable mentions.
Yeah, yes. Let's hear them because I might have one or two as
Yeah,
well.
I do too.
Yeah, I've got Taking Back Sunday.
Yes, same.
Their first record.
Yeah.
Same.
And,
Tell All Your Friends.
Tell all
Yep.
your friends. And I've
Yep.
got Brand New, Your Favorite Weapon. Both of those were.
Those are we've named them all except I said I in the movie, though I do like Commit This to Memory too. So
Yeah.
but those are my other two as well, Daniel.
I thought
Yeah.
Daniel was going to go with the Get Up Kids.
That was always more of my
few of us.
personal
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
wasn't like a big, we didn't hang out in the basement and play
Not too
play
often.
Get Up Kids songs on guitar and
Yeah.
everything and have
Right.
sing-alongs.
We did play
yeah.
a lot of this album.
Oh, we did play
We
Thrice
did.
a lot.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
play
that
Artists in the
Oh,
Ambulance was,
I have that one down too.
was a sick album.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, I just always picture us singing Taking Back Sunday and Soko Amaretto Lime. I mean, some of those
Yeah.
I think have always been kind of embedded in there.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
I kind of like how we kind of thought a little differently.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Well, that's a good segue into our next question. We've got favorite song moment or score scene. Almost got to the long version.
Yeah, almost.
So
Almost had it.
Eric, why don't you go first?
Okay. I had 2. We kind of already hit on one, and it's when Dick picks up the phone and hits Ian in the face, and like metal music just starts playing as they beat the shit out of him. We already hit that one, so I'm going to go with my second one then, which is at the end when Jack Black's band plays. And
Yeah.
and Rob's like, holy fuck, they're actually
I love
good?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best surprise in the entire movie.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the low hanging fruit in terms of the
Yeah.
best song moment, but it is also the best payoff. And like the whole
Yeah.
movie, it's a build up, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
yep.
don't know. And like at first he doesn't even have a band. He goes
Yeah.
from putting an ad into the paper to playing this.
This ad's been up here for like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot about that.
He's
part.
offered 110% or 110% of the gate to not
to.
play.
I love it. I kind of want to go next. So I think my favorite scene in the whole movie is when John Cusack's walking up to the bar and he's going up to the bouncer when he's paying to get into the bar, and he's like, "Is that fucking Frampton?" And the guy's like, "Yeah."
Is that Peter fucking Frampton?
And he's like, "Whoa, like holy shit, this is good." Because in his mind, he's pretentious. He's judging Frampton, like there's something there, and then he's like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, this is good." So of course I like
They
that.
all
and,
have to admit defeat because it's
yeah,
good.
100%
They're all like, I
love
fucking
it.
hate
It's-
Frampton,
Yeah,
but I don't hate it right now.
but I hear it. Yeah, exactly. I just love that, and it's cool because it's a full circle moment. Because Lisa Bonet is obviously the person playing the song. Her daughter with Lenny Kravitz is Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz played she's the main character in High Fidelity in the 2020 remake on the TV show.
Oh, yeah.
and
I
Hulu.
forgot that they made a show.
Yeah, so she's the main character in that. Well, that's her mom in this movie.
Okay.
No.
Dang.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Daniel, you want to go next?
Eric stole mine.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought for a movie about music, there weren't as many musical things
Numbers?
things that I thought were going to pop out at me that then they actually did. Like there was a lot of talk about music, but there wasn't so much music in scenes where I thought there would be music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
I disagree.
Okay.
Because They did music a few good times in it, like whenever they played "We Are the Champions" by Queen after he found out that Laura hadn't had sex with Ian yet. Yeah. He's outside just celebrating, and they have "We Are the Champions" by Queen played.
Yes. And when he's talking about the high school girl in Crocodile Rock plays, I like that scene. Kevin?
Yeah, Eric stole mine as well. But I was trying to think of another scene. And one that kind of I remember. I want to say Rob bets Barry that he can sell one record within 5 minutes.
Oh,
and he pops it in. And everybody starts like banging their head, but then it gets cut off because the punks steal the record.
Yeah.
Or start stealing stuff, so that scene gets cut, not just cut short.
Yeah, those damn skateboarders.
I will now sell 5 copies of the 3 EPs by the Beta Band.
Who is that? It's the Beta Band. It's good.
Were you was anybody else bouncing their head? Because I kind of was, to be honest. To that song.
No, I watched this at like 12:30 in the morning, so there wasn't a whole lot of head bouncing. There was a lot of like
head nodding.
That wasn't. I didn't want to count that one as my scene though, because what I kept doing through this whole movie was listening to what music was playing in the record store while they were working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and 2 of my favorites were "I Can't Stand the Rain" by Ann Peebles. Mm-hmm. And then the one hip hop song that they played in the store during the whole movie was "Tread Water" by De La Soul.
Interesting. I didn't even notice that. I also like the Jack, as I mentioned earlier, when Jack Black does the "Walking on Sunshine." That whole scene's awesome too.
Like, I'm not familiar with the music, but I did really like the scene where Dick is talking to that girl and talking about the influences of Green Day, and then he puts on that record.
Yeah.
And the other girl goes like, "Is this a new Green Day record?"
Yeah.
And like they have their meaningful little eyes.
Then they're like, "This fucking rube."
Well, the interesting thing about Green Day is that so much of their music is, in truth, directly influenced by, in my opinion, 2 bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that because like back when I first saw this, it was awesome because Green Day is like my all-time favorite band. So I was like, "Oh my god, they mentioned Green Day. That's so cool." Yeah. But yeah, that is a good scene, especially when they're like judging that person for saying, "Is this a new Green Day?"
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So next category we've got who won the movie. Kevin, you want to go first?
This one was a little tough. I ended up writing down Dick.
Good answer. All right. I get it.
Yeah, he's the only one. He's like drama free throughout the whole movie. He finds a girl. He's enjoying his time with it. And like, he's the only one that seems happy in the movie.
Wow, that's a good.
I'm going to say exactly the same thing that Kevin said. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Because he's the awkward dude who's like really soft spoken. And then he finds this girl that he really likes. And then he's happy.
Yeah, and they like really click too. Like throughout the movie, they always seem like they're happy. Even though he gets shit like, "Oh, he's got a girlfriend." But anyway, he's happy with it. He's content.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
That's
Dave?
a great answer.
I put the Nick Hornby and the screenwriters won the movie.
Yeah, good answer. It is a really clever movie and clever writing. It keeps you going, even though again I think it's kind of long. It still at least has some good thought through it. Daniel?
I think it's a Cusack win because he gets to do what he likes to do. Be sad in the rain.
Exactly. I mean,
dude loves being sad in the rain.
I also said John Cusack because like I said, I mean I like a lot of those movies, and I think this is his apex mountain in terms of movies.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is definitely his top movie. So like his breakout movie was Say Anything, and that was kind of his big his big breakout, but it didn't really do it justice in terms of. I just feel like this movie, he's firing on all cylinders and really polished, and so I think he won the movie because this again I think this is his apex mountain. Next category we've got: is this a podium role for any of the top billed cast members?
Did anybody have that it wasn't for anyone other than Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Yeah, I didn't even count her, but
I don't know. I don't think it's. I wouldn't put it on the podium for Jack Black.
No,
really.
And
okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I would put it on the podium for Cusack personally.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
wow.
surprising.
So all right. So we have a little conversation here. So, Eric, let's hear what you've got first, and then see if we agree. Or
I mean, I think the dude that played Dick, yes. The girl that played Laura, Tim Robbins, no. I said for Jack Black, no. Just because I love so many other movies of his, and like his role in this is hilarious, but I just don't. I don't think it's a top 3. Maybe like top 5.
What would you put on there? What would you put on there?
School of Rock, number 1.
Yeah. With a boy.
Possibly Mars Attacks. Because he was
Whoa,
he
he's
had
a scientist.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
he was the
he's the
brother.
That's right, that joins the military.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan's the scientist.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan's the scientist head.
That's right. I would say I think it is on his podium. I'll also add Orange County.
That's
his role.
Okay, Orange County's
Orange
great.
County. I mean, so he does Shallow Hal, which is one of his big roles, and
Tropic Thunder. That was the other one.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder's great.
Saving Silverman. But like none of those really hit the way this hits for me, so that's why I had this on.
Yeah,
there.
this is my personal one because I feel like everyone else might have Black and Cusack on their podium here.
I was more thinking, I guess, of movies that he starred in. Like I don't really see him as starring in Mars Attacks or in like Enemy of the State. But like, so I thought Orange County was really good. Like that's a Jack Black movie for me. School of Rock was really good. Like
that's his best.
But like Nacho Libre was terrible.
Yes.
Shallow Hal was not a good movie.
Not great.
Like, and then if you go more recently, like his voice for Bowser was perfect.
Yeah.
And then what was the
D.
Jumanji reboot?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
like he was pretty funny in that, but like
they did Rob and dirty there.
That movie sucked.
Yeah. They didn't need to reboot that.
So yeah, I think most of us agree on that Jack Black and Cusack. I would say this and Say Anything are his 1A and 1B. Say Anything again, put him in the stratosphere for this kind of role.
I kind of disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
My favorite Cusack movie is Con Air, and then I love him in 1408.
But he's not in Con Air. He's only a side character. I mean, Say Anything. He is the movie. Like the entire movie is him. While Con Air, he's probably 5th most important person in that movie.
Oh,
maybe worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say he's 2nd or 3rd in that movie.
In Con Air?
Yeah, he's the one trying to save what's his name, from being shot down and try to keep him alive and get him back to his Nicolas Cage. Yeah, trying to save his character.
Okay.
That one dude.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
pretty big role.
I quickly browsed over John Cusack's movies. This might be number 3 on mine because my favorites, like since way early, I saw One Crazy Summer and I really liked that one.
And then one.
Better Off Dead.
Yep.
I think Better Off Dead is my favorite John Cusack.
There's
movie.
also
so I think it might be on Podium, but if it is, it's 3 for me.
Sure. Yeah, so in that era, he also had The Sure Thing. If you remember, like, so he traveled across the country because one of his friends said that he was going to get laid if he made it across country. And so he travels across there with some other girl. And the whole idea is that he's going to travel across the country for the sure thing when the girl that he ends up with is right next to him. That's a really classic one. He's also a very big role in Being John Malkovich and 8 Men Out. Those are both really good movies that he plays a pretty big role. But my podium though for him is Say Anything, this, and Love and Mercy, the movie where he plays the middle-aged version of Brian Wilson, who's the founder of Beach Boys.
Yeah,
he's the main guy in Beach Boys, the Wilson brothers. So he plays the middle-aged version, and him and Paul Dano plays the younger version. And it's such a good movie. It's more recent, maybe 2017 or so, but he does a really good job in that. So that was my other one for him.
Yeah. Something I realized, I haven't seen very many John Cusack movies. This was actually the first time I've seen High Fidelity was for this.
So that's
podcast.
why you didn't put it on there. Say Anything.
Yeah.
Con Air.
Yeah, I've never seen Say Anything.
That's why. Oh, then that's why. So okay. Now we're getting context of why it's not on there.
I honestly haven't seen many of his movies. I was going through his list. I'm like, I've never even heard of these movies. And then
what about Dave and Daniel?
I agree.
With what?
Matt.
Okay.
I said that at the beginning, but
yeah, I'm
you
sorry.
were too busy going like, I'm Eric, I'm being disagreeable.
Yep, that's a great impression of me.
I know.
It's very good.
So one other person.
Wait, actually, no, I disagree. I disagree. Sorry.
One other person we haven't talked about, or Dave, go ahead. Do you have any other movies to point out?
I thought it was a podium role for everyone except for Captain Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, cool. Agreed with that. So the only person we haven't talked about is Iben Hjejle, which is not fun to say, but she's Laura, and she's a Danish actress. And I looked her up, and the only other movie I recognize, there are a lot of foreign films because again, she's a Danish actress, and she's in Defiance with Daniel Craig. So definitely a podium role for her.
I would say so. Yeah.
On IMDb, this is her top movie. But one cool one cool fact that I found was during her dad's funeral scene, there's a flag in the background, and it's a Danish flag. So I thought that was interesting. Just a tidbit.
A little bit of subtle detail there.
Yeah, exactly. So next category we've got, does this movie podium in the year 2000? Instead of a question, we should have Kevin crack the beer can for the instead of the song. Kevin, why don't you go first? Does this movie podium for you in the year 2000?
I'd put no. There's a lot that came out this year that, like Almost Famous, American Psycho, Gladiator, Castaway, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I mean, there's just so many good movies that came out this year that they're just better, in my opinion.
What would you have on there then?
I would probably put American Psycho 1, Almost Famous 2. Third place, toss up between probably Gladiator and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Nice. Daniel, what about you?
No. X-Men came out this year.
I know. X-Men's cool.
So mine is probably X-Men, Gladiator, and Castaway in some order. I don't know which.
Nice.
Wilson.
Dave?
I said no. My three would be Memento, Almost Famous, and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Nice. And Eric?
I said no as well. Any of the movies that were mentioned before, I like more. Plus, Miss Congeniality came out.
Oh, Matt's favorite movie.
Yeah. No, Matt's is Armageddon.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
There is a notable mention. There's a notable mention of it. This is the year Dude, Where's My Car came out.
I had that on here. Just wait. It's not on my list.
Zoltan.
Yeah, so no, those are all good. So most of us agree on either Almost Famous or Gladiator. I would put Almost Famous at 1, Gladiator at 2, which also to mention, we try to keep track of this. Gladiator won Best Picture this year. So I would put that at 2 for that context, but also it's a badass movie. Yeah. So then you have, as Kevin said, Dude, Where's My Car? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came out this year.
Yeah.
The
Too much reading
Replacements.
for Kevin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
The Replacements also came out this year.
All-time classic.
Yeah.
Mr. Tommy's mom's favorite movie.
Yep.
I didn't even see that came out this year, but that would totally be on my podium.
See?
Yeah,
also, I mentioned in the beginning, Requiem for a Dream. Dag mentioned Memento.
Mm-hmm.
Unbreakable also came out, which is my favorite M. Night movie.
Nice.
And so that would be my third favorite my bronze would be Unbreakable. But this and Unbreakable were battling.
We watched Unbreakable like the summer after we graduated high school. I think.
Yeah.
Or one of the summers
did.
of college. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. We definitely did. And so that would be my bronze. Daniel
says timeout.
Ready to Rumble came out in 2000.
Oh my gosh.
The David Arquette film.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Okay.
That led to him winning the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
I know.
Well, I think that's number 1, number 2, and number 3.
That's the top 10 with a bullet, baby.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yep.
So
what I wrote down, what I wrote down is the whole 9 yards. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
But it came out
like Amanda Peet naked.
Who doesn't?
Oh yeah. All right. Next category we've got. Does this movie get made now?
I'll let you guys elaborate. I'm just going to simply say yes.
I would say no.
I agree with Matt.
Yeah, I'm going to say no for the same reasons that I said no on whichever one it was that was also a romantic comedy sort of thing. And that's that studios just don't make them anymore.
Wedding Singer.
Yeah, Wedding Singer, yeah.
Which
studios just don't make them anymore.
Yeah, and and I'll kind of elaborate on why I said no, because it was already attempted at a TV show in 2020 with Zoe Kravitz, and she even said like Hulu failed to understand the cultural impact of High Fidelity. But really, it just seemed like it didn't catch fire, right? So they tried to make it into a show already.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see a lot of movies with this much angst and anguish anymore either. On top of the romantic comedy.
Yeah.
You also don't see that angst a lot. And so I wish they did. But again, maybe this answer changes in 10 years and records and CDs get another nostalgic push. And that's possible, but for now, I would say no.
Yeah,
Kevin, what do you think?
Oh, I agree. It's no. I don't think it. I think it's.
Yeah,
no
I think
as well.
you summed it up really well, Matt.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I wish it did because I love this movie, but I just don't see it.
But they said yes.
Do you think the other way?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought the other way. I mean, I guess I just thought that I didn't see it as much as a romantic comedy as just a comedy movie. You know, there was the sense of romance, but like Daniel said before, the dude's just an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not much of a I get that.
Yeah, I get that too.
Like he's not looking for love. He's complaining why love doesn't stay with him. And just the music stuff and everything. Like I didn't know that it was made into a TV series in 2020, but I could see why that failed because you can't sustain the story long enough to make a full series out of this. So if it's going to be made again, it'd have to be a movie.
Yeah, that's also a really good way to put that. I totally agree. This is not long enough because you're only going to get the same scenario so many times in a record store that can show in a or can display on a show. So yeah, I like that. Next category, we've got favorite line from the movie. There are a ton of good lines in this one. There's some really good long ones and some really good one-liners. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
And then Daniel's next.
Did Daniel raise his hand?
Yeah, he did.
And then he just said, I'll go
Nobody on the radio or the podcast hears you raise your hand. Daniel.
I like that he does it, though, because it tells me to calm.
It is good.
I actually like it, to be honest.
Mine is what came first, music or the misery?
What came first? The music or the misery?
Damn, that was one of mine.
Yeah.
That's one of the best. It's the first line of the movie.
My favorite Jack Black line is, I never thought I'd say this, but can I work now?
I never thought I'd say this, but can I go work now?
Whenever he's just getting, when he's just getting bombarded by Rob, because Rob is
what if you said
using
yet? The word yet. I haven't seen Ghostbusters yet, or what? I can't remember what movie it was.
Yeah, that's.
He's
awesome.
like, would you because of that? Would you think that I was gonna go see it?
Daniel gets next dibs.
I think it was Evil Dead 2, by the way.
Evil Dead 2.
They
Okay.
were talking about. My quote is a Jack Black quote. If Laura and her bourgeois lawyer friends can't handle it, fuck them. Let them riot. Where's Sonic fucking Death Monkey?
And if Laura and her bourgeois lawyer friends can't handle it, fuck them. Let them riot. Or Sonic fucking Death Monkey.
Can I go off of that one real quick?
Yeah, please do.
Because it references that. It's Barry. We're no longer called Sonic Death Monkey. We're on the verge of becoming Kathleen Turner Overdrive. But just for tonight, we are Barry Jive and the Uptown Five.
We're on the verge of being called Kathleen Turner Overdrive. However, this evening we will be Barry Jive and the Uptown Five.
That's right before Barry's band plays for the first time.
Yeah.
My favorite Jack Black quote I wrote down was, well, that's unfortunate because it sucks ass.
What the fuck is that?
It's the new Belle and Sebastian.
It's the record we've been listening to and enjoying, Barry.
Well, that's unfortunate because it sucks ass.
Yeah. Yeah, talking about the Bella Sebastian.
Yeah, but then at the non-Jack Black quote is when Joan Cusack comes in and she just walks in and says,
"Hey, Rob, you fucking asshole!"
and then just leaves.
So they definitely use the word fuck in a pretty funny way. Like all of the lines are like funny in some way. So I had what came first, the music or the misery. I also like the line a lot. Do you have soul? That all depends.
Hey, do you have soul?
That all depends.
And then my favorite line, I think, is when it's raining and he's trying to get a hold of Charlize Theron and he's like, Charlie, you fucking bitch. Let's work it out.
Charlie, you fucking bitch. Let's work it out.
That one is hilarious because he's straight up.
Wasn't that Catherine Zeta-Jones?
That's the way to get to my heart.
Yeah,
Charlie.
Matt called Catherine Zeta-Jones Charlize Theron.
Oh, I did.
I didn't even catch it. I didn't
Because her name's Charlie in the movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking Charlie. That's funny. That's hilarious.
I did like that line because he's just like, you fucking bitch. And then he's like, I take it back. Let's work it out.
Yeah, let's work it out.
Just immediately.
And then, the Jack Black, any of those lines, because he's like,
yeah, he's so good in this movie.
It's the Bella Sebastian.
It's the new Bella and Sebastian
album, and we're enjoying it. So we got 2 categories left. Most likely to be the off-screen drunk.
It's Rob.
It's definitely Rob.
It's Rob.
It's Rob. He's
I
a
have somebody
shithead.
else.
He's a drunk shithead.
Who do
He
you
is
have?
a drunk shithead. I said Sarah, the girl he dated when he was 26, and they were just sharing a drink called loneliness. So
Okay,
I thought
yep.
maybe she was the opposite of him, or not opposite, but she was the collaboration with, or she was the other person to his guy. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I think
The female version of Rob.
Yeah, thank you. There we go. She is the female version of Rob, and so I thought that was my answer. But Rob,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
for sure.
And we're on to the next one.
Yeah, that was easy. Next we finish with casting our friends.
I was kind of I didn't get a whole bunch on this one. So is it cool if I go first?
Yeah.
Please do. Go for it.
Okay, so number 1 is Barry. Barry's Daniel here because he's loud. And that's it. That's it. And then the only other one, which I think is good, not because he's insecure or an asshole at all, because he's neither. But Rob could be played by Dave because I could see him owning a record store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I would like
Yeah.
owning a record store,
Right?
except for the lack of money that it probably takes.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
I had 3. I did like the main characters of the movie, or at least what I'm perceiving as the main characters of the movie: Rob, Barry, and Dick. So I had Rob as Brad, our neurotic friend that's always overthinking everything.
That is so true.
That's a
and
fantastic one.
And who would probably talk himself out of relationships and the sort.
That's awesome.
I had Barry pegged as Jordan, just because Barry is very he's very set in his opinions, and I feel like Bogey is that way. Bogey was definitely somebody that would come into us like listening to something like slow and sappy and go, "What the fuck is this?" And would come in and try to pep everybody up by playing something like fast and heavy or whatever.
Or in Living Color. He fucking hates In Living Color.
And then for Dick, I had Daniel, and because I'm just picturing Daniel meeting a girl this way of sharing an interest in something and being very shy and maybe a little uncomfortable about it.
I could see that.
She comes up to him talking about some the new comic book movie or whatever, and then Daniel's like,
that.
"Oh, but did you know that they got the ideas of this comic book movie from these specific comics?" And then it's showing this off.
Yeah, I could see that. Daniel, who'd you have?
I didn't cast anybody.
Yeah.
Daniel said, "Fuck this question."
It was kind of tough.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm just
my thing is I don't know anyone. If I had friends like this, I wouldn't have friends like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If I had elitist dickbags, they're the kind of nerds who give nerds a bad name.
Yes, sure.
If they were comic book nerds, they'd be someone would come in and be like, "Can I get the new Spider-Man?" And they'd be like, "Spider-Man's been shit since Joe Quesada decided that Spider-Man couldn't be married anymore." It'd be it's those kind of people aren't the kind of people I want to be around. So none of those guys really are like any of you guys.
Yep.
I also agree with that statement.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer.
Because they are fucking elitist dickheads.
And this isn't.
No, I agree with that.
I'm not trying to say that any of you guys are these people. Daniel is obviously not Dick, but
no, that's not this exercise. We don't take this.
Yeah. I'm not high.
No.
I'm just saying. I just could not get past what insufferable dicks they were. Dude.
Yeah. I mean, I could have went. Yeah, Dick is balding and Daniel's balding, so I Daniel Dick. Sorry, buddy.
Kevin?
I'm surprised I didn't get that one.
I had a lot of trouble with this as well, but I did come up with one casting.
Uh-oh.
And our bud Cody is Kevin
wondering.
Bannister.
It's Kevin's soul goal to cast somebody from the movie that he's watched as Cody.
Yeah,
he's like
Bannister?
Cody, or actually, Kevin's watching the movie, just going, "All right, where's Cody?
Where
is he?
I found him.
Actually, it's not a bad answer. Why do you say? Because I actually think I have a good reason why.
Oh,
I actually
kind of married to Lake, and they've been together since forever.
Exactly.
Like, who knows? And it's just funny. It would be. I could see. I mean, I really don't know the past before Lakin, but I could see like if Lakin did date somebody in middle school, her parents would be like, "Oh no, she's been with Cody forever."
Yeah,
you're making it up.
That's what I was hoping you were doing with. But yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That's actually funny you say that.
But I had to think hard about that one.
But Dag's right. You had to think hard.
Where's Cody?
Eric, you owned the baldness though.
That's
you
true.
Took it all the and you took it all
Dick
the way
does
home.
that too, right?
So
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
he's like shaved clean bald.
Yeah.
So I may have casted Eric as Dick. So I'll go next.
You know what?
Because he likes Green Day.
I actually didn't even say the. I didn't say the bald part, but that's actually a good observation.
Was it because he likes Green Day?
That's part of it. So I said Eric because he's kind of soft, quiet, and also likes Green Day.
Yeah.
But his personality is not. Yeah, like if you were in a record store, you wouldn't come in and slam on Katrina and the Waves. That'd probably be me, right? Playing dinosaurs at 5 a.m. I was kind of thinking I'm probably Jack Black in that scenario.
I can remember.
We never use this can crusher.
I can remember.
That's me.
Eric was always like quiet at school, but then whenever we'd get together at like Adam's house or whatever, Eric was like always one of the louder ones.
Yeah, that seems to be accurate.
So I also had John Cusack as the mutual friend. I actually had Cody for that because he's the gossip queen, and
He is a gossip queen.
Yep. Yeah, and so like
that's a good answer.
She said stuff, and obviously she's the one who plays both sides and hears things. Like that's kind of Cody's gimmick. I also said, let's see, I had Dag as Penny, the girl who filled out after high school and had a good job.
Yeah,
Nice.
Dag, you really filled out.
You filled out.
And then I also said Daniel was Sarah, the girl that he kind of dates after the other girl, because she's like kind of like cheery, like she's real super nice and supportive, and then also the misery loves company, so it's like that combination. I thought that was funny.
It works.
Yeah.
You miserable bitch, Daniel.
That's not what I meant.
I mean,
but you know what I'm saying.
You talked to me like 10 years ago, and that fits. That misery shit fits like a.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought that was kind of funny, but still like super sweet and supportive, and like you almost feel for her in that way because you're like she seems like a really good person at the same time.
Yeah.
One last thought before we get out of here. When was the last time anybody thought of a payphone?
I will tell you, it was Speed when we watched Speed.
Yeah. I was going to say probably we watched for
Yes.
this. Yeah.
When we watched Speed,
you're right.
Keanu Reeves had to go across the street to pick up the phone, the payphone ringing.
Oh, that's right.
After the bus blew up.
What bus number was it?
And before that, I have no idea.
It's hilarious. What bus number was it? Anybody remember?
It had 5s in it. 2255, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
25.
You're our number guy. I assume that you just have it out on your
I
fingers.
just thought it was 4055 or something. It definitely had 55.
Accessing banks.
25,
Accessing number
25.
25. Ah, shit.
You were close.
That was it?
You were close.
As in 25 plus 25 equals 50. The speed limit they had to stay over.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
We just add a speed fact.
We didn't even
random
touch
ass
that.
fact. No, I didn't.
That's a callback right
I
there.
did
We
now.
didn't even touch that in that episode. We gotta go back, man. We gotta revisit that.
Yeah, let's do a rewatch.
Revisit speed.
Rewatch speed.
The rewatchables.
Oh my God. All right, later guys.
See you guys.
See y'all.
Later.